questions in Jameson because he had the suspensions.
Yep.
Is he at that level that you're willing to do an extension with him because you have more to prove? How does he fit into that long term?
Yeah, I mean, look, we're still taking it, as it goes. Look, his 5th-year option's coming. It's looking likely that we'll go ahead and just pick that up. But in terms of extension, again, there's a lot of extensions that are hopefully coming, but it's just one that you just don't know what's going to happen from a financial standpoint, because a wide receiver, it's expensive. It's very expensive. So look, these are good problems. These are good problems to have.
I think an interesting topic, one that I was hinting towards previously in the past, Brad Holmes and the re-signing of these guys he's drafted. It's been like that year before the final year. And it's been 3-4 years re-upping them, keeping them. Jameson Williams expressed today, and again I wish I had an actual video of it, but expressed today that they're going to pick up that 5th-year option, meaning it's an immediate future thing. Like we're gonna keep him, but there's not that longevity thing yet, and I'm okay with that. I don't think there's anything to shit on there. I don't think there's anything to be upset about. I think he's at that point. Like we've been successful without him. We've been successful with him. He's had some, off the field stuff. Not anything that I think is like detrimental to him as a human being or like as when it pertains to this team, but something you want to invest a lot of money into. When you have to invest a lot of money into everything else you got going on too. The Jameson Williams 5th-year option is a smart move, in my opinion, for Brad Holmes and Detroit Lions.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see the market for receivers really going higher than what it is right now. You just saw Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson get paid, so it's not like a new receiver is going to set the market anytime soon.
Yeah.
And like you said, you sign him this year, and then you can hopefully get the deal done in the season. Like mid-season, we saw Lee McNeil get his deal in the middle of the season, and he came back and he was.
I don't know if there will be one.
Yeah, I mean, you've expressed that opinion multiple times. I don't agree with it. I think they're going to re-sign Jameson Williams.
I think the 5th-year option is a sign of that, because otherwise he would have got that deal.
We'll see. I mean, maybe they want to see more from him. So you it's over. You don't think they're signing him at all?
I would say, yeah. I would bet against it. Yeah.
And then you can tag him.
Shitting on James or anything like that.
You can use a franchise tag as well.
Yeah, you can tag him another year too. I'm not saying that. I'm saying like the 5th-year option is like that example of that. Like most of these guys, I guess Penei would be the first one because he was a first round pick. They didn't get to the 5th-year option. You locked him up right away. But Penei also performed at a Hall of Fame level.
And there's also a difference.
All pro level.
J-Mo was the 12th pick of the draft.
Yeah.
So I guess it's not that much of a difference between him and Penei, but him and Hutch is like this 5th-year option with this number 2 pick compared to the number 12 pick is way different.
Yeah. Hutch also a lot more consistent of a player too. I'd say.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
he's a lot more consistent of a player.
I think they both have one really good year.
No, Hutch has been amazing the entire way through.
Yeah, he's been great, but I mean,
Hutch has been phenomenal in comparison to Jameson Williams. You think Jameson Williams had as much success at receiver as Hutch has had at defensive end?
I think it's not that far off.
I think it's pretty far off.
Based on what?
Based on their performances.
Jameson Williams has a 1,000-yard receiving season.
Yeah, this year.
Yeah, it still counts as a year.
Okay, that's fine. It's the very first year he's done that, right?
Yeah.
Hutch has consistently produced for you up until the injury.
Yeah, he has, and like I said, but Hutch had a really good season, and he had 9.5 sacks. We expect him to take the jump next year or this year.
9.5 his rookie year.
Yeah.
11.5 his second year. And then before this year was able to get finished. He was at 7.5 before the injury.
Yeah, and he would have went nuts.
Don't forget the interceptions in there, the swatted balls. Like he's been phenomenal.
Yeah, for sure.
On top of his teams having we've seen it against the Green Bay game. Watch the tape, triple team. Like it's
definitely.
The value is there's way more value in Hutch right now.
Hutch has had 2 good years, and J-Mo only had 1. So if you want, then maybe that's what this 5th-year option is.
But even in that good year, I wouldn't compare like the Hutch's good year. Like Hutch has been phenomenal.
You wouldn't compare a 1,000-yard receiver to a 9.5 sack season?
I would not.
I would. I think it's pretty comparable.
Don't think at all. There's more than sacks as well.
What?
There's more than just sacks as well.
Yeah.
He's getting after the quarterback and his hands on the ball.
Yeah, scoring touchdowns. That's important too.
Rushing lanes for other guys too.
I mean, if you don't value the 1,000-yard receiving season, that's fine. I think Jameson Williams, they want to see him do it again, and that's why they signed him to this fifth-year option. Because right now, he's got one good season under his belt, and you want to see him do it again. Like, Hutch has 2 good years under his belt, and then obviously this year he would have been fantastic if he didn't get injured.
Yeah.
And so Hutch is getting locked down. You're not even worried about Hutch's fifth-year option.
Yeah.
I was just saying that the difference between the number 2 pick's fifth-year option and the 12th pick's fifth-year option is a lot of money. So J-Mo's fifth-year option isn't going to be like, $27 million or whatever. It'll be a reasonable deal.
Million.
Yeah, and that's a very good deal for a receiver of his caliber at that spot. $15 million a year for that type of receiver, you'll take that any day of the week. So that's why it makes more sense to franchise him than someone else.
Fifth-year option.
That's what I mean. Fifth-year option J-Mo than someone else because the number fits his production at his position more.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's the reason why. Hutch is, I mean, they're working on extending him now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But what are we doing here? I think they're going to re-sign Hutch.
Yeah. I'm not saying you're saying they're not going to re-sign Hutch, but you're making it sound like they're only re-signing Hutch because the money's more on a fifth-year option.
That's not what I said. No, I'm saying that it's easier to do J-Mo's fifth-year option because he was the 12th pick and not the 2 pick. Mm-hmm. If he's the 2 pick and his fifth-year option is $27 million, you're probably not doing that. But since it's only $15 million, that's more incentive for them to do that, wait another year, and then try to get it done.
Hutch is $19 million, so $4 million more.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's anything to do with the makes sense.
The money, how much? You don't think it matters how much the deal is?
No, I think he has more to prove. You got the fifth-year option. You lock him down because he is a good player and he is in your team. But before you make the full-time commitment with a deal that I don't think will reset the market, maybe I'm wrong. He proves us wrong this year and does something like that. But
I don't know about proves us wrong. You don't think he can do that again?
No, the statement I just made talking about resetting the market.
Oh yeah. He's not going to reset the market.
No, that's what I'm saying. So I think a fifth-year, like he has more to prove, I guess.
Yeah.
Versus where Hutch is at.
Yeah, you need to see him do it for another year. He's had one good year where he's been really good.
Yeah.
And now you want to see him do it again before you commit $20 million a season to him.
Jim Harbaugh, Brad Holmes, both spoke on Aiden Hutchinson come back from his injury today. Mm-hmm. They said they both fully expect him to be 100% what he was before.
I do too.
It's a broken bone.
Yeah,
this is not going to stop him.
I saw everybody saying that he might not be the same ever again. And we had a literal doctor sitting in there he's going to be fine.
Amen.
Yeah, so.
Lunchbox, easy, I owe you 100 if they don't re-sign J-Mo.
That's true.
I don't feel good.
I think we got a pizza bet on it too.
Yeah, I think we got a pizza bet on it, I'm sure. Chris, you had your hand up a few times?
Yeah, just because I wanted to chime in on the part of the comparing the Hutch and J-Mo. I know we kind of moved past that, but I think the context I was lacking in that conversation was the fact that Hutch is, while J-Mo became this last year an extremely focal point of the offense, we've always established that defensively, the game plan is entirely around Hutch.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to do this. This is not what this conversation is. Everybody knows that Hutchinson is more important to this team than Jameson Williams.
Okay, just make sure you know.
Nobody said that he wasn't. Everybody knows they're going to re-sign Aiden Hutchinson. I was just saying the fifth-year option on the 12 pick is cheaper than the fifth-year option on the 2 pick.
Okay, I was just arguing the production part of it too, because while you can say 1,000-yard receiving and 9.5 sack are comparable to me, I would contextualize just how important Aiden Hutchinson is to the defense.
I'm with you on that.
And how if you take away J-Mo, this offense can still be very good, if not electric. And not saying you don't want J-Mo here, but just providing that kind of context to it. But
nobody's saying he's a better player than Aiden Hutchinson. There's a reason Aiden Hutchinson was the 2 pick and J-Mo was the 12 pick.
For sure.
There's a reason they'll be paid different amounts of money. There's a reason Jameson Williams is the second receiver on the team and Hutch is a blue chip defensive. Like, nobody thinks that he's better than them.
No,
Apparently I shouldn't have used their draft position to describe
the way you were talking about it with the seasons versus the Hutch's success.
That was the only part
they're
I was
equivalent.
pushing
Like, I
back.
think Hutch is above that. That's why he's getting re-signed. Versus
I think Jameson Williams showed us last year he's an upper echelon receiver in the NFL with the season that he had. If you want to see him do it again, I agree. That's why you signed him to this.
It's not even to do it again. We're just saying that Hutch is more valuable. Hutch is a better player at his position.
The defensive end is a more important position than wide receiver.
Or even just a better player.
Yes, I just said that 2 seconds ago.
I know, but we were explaining why we're saying it because it made it sound like it was equivalent or the same, and it wasn't.
I think he's shown like I said when I said it, He's shown at his position, at his spot, he can go out there and have a top-tier level season. He needs to do it again.
I think we may see that too with Johnny Morton, just from some of the stuff we heard about him. Him playing the wide receiver. Do you know Johnny Morton ran a 4.3 back in his day?
Unit.
Fucking
What he played wide receiver?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's a fast wide
Where did he
ball.
play in college? Do you know?
I think he played at Western.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I could be mistaken. I'll double check on that one. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Johnny Morton played wide receiver at Western. He didn't quite cut it in the league. Steve Lehman, don't make Spinny leave again.
Dude, the chat is terrified that this.
Just fucking gaslighting is ridiculous.
Can I
dude.
confess?
No, it was just a
you
setup.
can- I said it on stream already.
Oh, you already said it?
I said it on my Twitch last night.
We wanted to leave early for the Michigan State game.
Yeah. Already,
Mom and Dad are okay.
Mom and Dad are fine.
that was already in place.
We may love that night.
We were going to leave early.
I did get a 3 a.m. text.
I did get mad, though.
Yeah.
Like, the
That was
getting mad
legit.
wasn't fake, but then when we went into break, I was like, all right, I'm just going to keep it going, and then I wanted to see that. And I got to the bar just in time, so it worked.
Yeah, Super Bowl Wilson, that's exactly what I said, brother. There's more to being a defensive end than getting sacks. That's quite literally what I said.
Yeah.
So,
I don't
talked
know
about the batted
why
balls.
is this?
I talked about getting triple teamed.
No hate fest for Hutch. This is
Yeah.
what are we
Right?
doing here?
Okay, let's then take it back to J-Mo here before we go to break. Easy, I know you said you bet against it that J-Mo.
I think he might be the odd man out, yes. I don't think that devalues him as a player.
But then you changed it
I
to
still
Kirby.
think he's a
But then they just said Kirby.
Yeah.
They mentioned Kirby.
because
by
like
name.
Kirby, like why hasn't it happened yet? I guess that's where I'm at with that one. Also, we may or may not have Kirby on the show, so when that deal comes, that's why I also want it to happen. Like just fucking get over it, man.
Selfish
Content's dry right now.
Yeah, that would be hype.
Yeah.
But yeah, the reason why
Put a
again
percentage
you've
on
had
it.
a successful offense without his input, and again, that's not devaluing him as a player. I still think he's a phenomenal talent. He still did what he did, but it's the fact that you've experienced success without that. Argue you went further, although he was available for those games in the NFC Conference Championship game. That's where he probably had his best playoff
Where
game.
he was the best player
His
on the
best
field.
playoff performance, yeah. But we lost that game ultimately.
Yeah.
But still, you got there off the merits of like everybody else, and I think you look at Jamie. We're talking about a very, very good guy. I don't know him as a good guy, but good player. Is what I
Seems
meant
like
by
a
that.
good guy.
Seems like a good guy. Honestly, seems like a great guy. And Pro Bowl, I think with Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, you're talking all pro, and that's just like a different.
I think
Right,
Jameson
different
Williams
tier.
has the ability to be an all-pro receiver in the NFL.
I think he does too. I
Like
don't know
he
if he'll do it.
had the least amount of catches for any receiver to get 1,000 yards last year.
But it makes sense the way he played. You know,
Explosive. Yeah.
he's the big
So-
play guy, the Yak King.
So then put a percentage on it, Easy. Put a percentage on chances J-Mo is here past the 5th-year option.
I would say 75 because they'll tag him.
We're still
if they
2
don't
years away
re-sign
from that, so I'd probably, as a cop out, to say like 54, like 47, like somewhere within there.
47? That's such a
47%.
weirdly specific number.
Yeah, I mean we're still 2 years away. I think we got to see him in Johnny Moe's offense. 'Cause I do expect him to be more explosive in this one, just because Johnny Moe feels like that type of coordinator. He called up, listened to some of the stuff I've like gone back and read, or some things I've gone back and listened to. It feels like he's the guy that drew up a lot of the explosives in that offense in 22 or 23, whatever year it was he was here, and now he's your play caller. So I think we're gonna see a lot more of that stuff.
Spencer, where are you at percentage-wise? You said
He
75?
said he's going to be here after the 5th year, probably
Yeah.
75%. Because if you don't re-sign him, they're definitely going to franchise tag him.
Okay. If I were to just rephrase that then to second contract and
To get a
avoid
second contract here in Detroit,
Easy.
I would say probably 60, 65%.
Okay.
You claim there is more to being a defensive end than getting sacks, yet you still want Zadarius Smith as a team. How? I know I
I don't know. He's just,
You're an idiot.
he's on a soapbox.
Yeah, you're wrong.
Listen to me.
He's still in contact with his agent for a reason. You're contradicting yourself. Do you trust Brad or not?
Yeah, and
Which one is it?
you're not going to have 5 Aiden
That was
Hutchins-
almost like
you're
a
not. You're not
sketch
going to
of
have
this.
5 Aiden Hutchinsons on your
If you think
defense.
Zadarius Smith is a bad football player, don't talk football. Just don't open your mouth. Don't embarrass yourself. I guess you have a nameless, faceless profile. You can say whatever you want.
It's true.